Am I wrong for getting my ex arrested after she sold my dog to a family with kids? She says I ruined Christmas for innocent children. I say she's stole my dog and committed a felony. I came home from my shift at 6 p.m. to an empty apartment. Not unusual. My ex Maya had moved out 3 weeks ago after we broke up. But something felt wrong. Too quiet. Cooper? Come here, buddy. No barking. No sound of paws on hardwood, no golden retriever bounding around the corner excited to see me. I walked through the apartment. Cooper's bed was gone. His food bowls, his toys, the leash that always hung by the door, everything. My dog was gone. I called Maya immediately. She answered on the third ring. What? Where's Cooper? Oh, yeah, I sold him. My brain stopped working for a second. You what? I sold him, found a family on Craigslist. They gave me $3,000. Seemed fair since I helped pay for his food and vet bills. Maya, Cooper is my dog. I got him 2 years before I even met you. You can't just sell someone else's dog. We lived together for 3 years. I took care of him too. I have just as much right to him as you do. No, you don't. He's registered in my name, licensed to me. All his vet records are in my name. You literally have zero legal claim to him. Well, he's sold now. The family already picked him up. They seemed nice. They have kids. Cooper will be happier with them than stuck in your depressing apartment all day. I felt rage like I'd never experienced. Tell me where they are. Give me their contact information now. No, you broke up with me. You don't get to keep the dog. This is what you deserve. She hung up. I stood in my empty apartment trying to process what had just happened. My ex-girlfriend had stolen my dog and sold him to strangers out of spite because I'd ended our toxic relationship. Cooper wasn't just a pet. He was my emotional support animal. Literally, I had documentation. Cooper had gotten me through depression after my mom died, through job loss, through the worst years of my life. He was family. And Maya had sold him for $3,000 to hurt me. I called the police, explained the situation. The dispatcher was sympathetic but not encouraging. This is technically a civil matter. You'd need to sue her for the value of the dog. We can't just go arrest her for selling a dog you both lived with. But he's my dog. I have all the paperwork, registration, license, vet records, everything's in my name. You can file a report, but this will probably have to go through small claims court. Small claims court would take weeks, months. By then, Cooper would be bonded with this new family. They'd fight to keep him. I'd lose him forever. I couldn't let that happen. I went through my records, found everything proving Cooper was mine. Adoption papers from the rescue, my name only. Vet records spanning 4 years. My name, my credit card. City dog license, registered to me at my current address. Microchip registration, my name and phone number. There was zero documentation with Maya's name on it because Cooper wasn't her dog. He was mine. She'd just lived with us. I also pulled up our lease. My name only. Maya had moved in with me but hadn't been added to the lease, so legally she hadn't even lived there officially. She was my guest who'd overstayed. With all this documentation, I went to the police station in person, asked to speak to someone about theft. The officer I spoke to, Officer Davis, actually listened, reviewed all my paperwork, asked detailed questions. So your ex-girlfriend had no legal ownership of the dog. None. Everything's in my name. She lived with me and helped with daily care, but had no legal claim. And she sold him without your permission. She sold him specifically to hurt me, as revenge for breaking up with her. She admitted it on the phone. Did you record that call? No, but I have text messages from before where she threatened to make me pay for ending things, and a message from today where she admits selling him. I showed him the texts. Maya's message from this afternoon. Hope you enjoy coming home to an empty apartment. See how you like being alone. You deserve everything you get. Officer Davis made copies of everything. This is theft. She took property that belonged to you and sold it without permission. The fact that it was a dog doesn't change that legally it's theft. I'm going to file the report and forward this to detectives. They'll investigate. What about Cooper? What about getting him back? That's trickier. The family who bought him purchased him in good faith. They didn't know he was stolen. But if we can prove theft, the sale would be void and they'd have to return him. They'd get their money back from your ex. How long will that take? Depends on the investigation. Could be days, could be weeks. But with this much documentation, it should be straightforward. I left the police station feeling a little better. At least I'd filed a report. At least someone was taking this seriously. But I needed to find Cooper, needed to know he was okay, needed to get him back before too much time passed. I posted on every lost pet Facebook group in the city. Stolen, golden retriever named Cooper, 4 years old. Last seen this date. Believed to have been sold on Craigslist by ex-girlfriend. If you recently purchased a golden retriever, please contact me. He is microchipped and registered to me. Police report filed. I included photos of Cooper, his microchip number, my contact information. Then I searched Craigslist, found Maya's ad from 2 days ago. Golden retriever for sale, 4 years old, great with kids, $3,000, serious inquiries only. She'd posted it while I was at work, had been planning this. The ad was now deleted, but I'd screenshotted it while it was still in Google's cache. More evidence, more proof of theft. 36 hours after Cooper disappeared, I got a call from an unknown number. Hi, is this Jake about the golden retriever? Yes. Do you have information about Cooper? We think we might have bought him. We saw your Facebook post. The microchip number matches. Relief flooded through me. Where are you? Can I come see him? We're in Redmond, but we paid $3,000 for him. Our kids are already attached. We bought him for Christmas. We had no idea he was stolen. I understand, and I'm so sorry you're in this position, but Cooper is my dog. I can prove ownership. I've filed a police report for theft. The sale was illegal. I need him back. Silence on the other end. Then crying. A woman crying. Our kids will be devastated. They've been sleeping with him. They named him Max. They think he's ours. My heart broke for them, but Cooper wasn't theirs. He was mine. I'm sorry, I really am, but my ex-girlfriend stole my dog and sold him to you illegally. You're victims of her crime, too. You'll get your money back when she's prosecuted, but I need Cooper back. Let me talk to my husband. She called back an hour later. Okay, you can come get him, but we want the police involved. We want documentation that this was theft and we're not just giving away a dog we paid for. Absolutely. I'll have Officer Davis come with me.
Officer Davis agreed to accompany me to Redmond. This is unusual, but given the circumstances, it makes sense. The family wants protection from potential legal issues. You want your dog back. Let's document everything properly. We drove to a house in a quiet suburb. Nice neighborhood. Kids' bikes in the driveway. The kind of family home where a dog would be loved. Made this worse somehow. This family hadn't done anything wrong. They'd bought a dog they thought was legitimately for sale, and now I had to take him away from kids who'd already bonded with him. The husband, Tom, answered the door. Looked tired, stressed. Officer, Jake, come in. The kids are at school. We thought it would be better if they weren't here for this. Smart, sparing them the trauma of watching their Christmas present get taken away by police. And then I heard it, barking. Cooper's bark. I'd know it anywhere. He came around the corner and stopped, stared at me, then went absolutely crazy, barking, jumping, tail wagging so hard his whole body shook, slammed into me and nearly knocked me over. I dropped to my knees and hugged him. He was licking my face, whining, pressing against me. He remembered. He knew me. He'd been confused and scared, and now he was home. I started crying. Couldn't help it. I'd thought I might never see him again. Thought Maya had destroyed the most important relationship in my life out of pure spite. Tom watched this reunion and his expression softened. Okay, he definitely knows you. He hasn't acted like this with us at all. I've had him since he was 8 weeks old. He's my best friend. Tom's wife, Jennifer, came downstairs. She'd been crying. We need the police report number, documentation that this was theft. We paid $3,000. We need to be able to get that back. Officer Davis provided everything: the case number, his contact information, copies of my ownership documents. Miss Blake will be charged with theft. The sale will be voided. You'll be able to recover your money through restitution or civil court. What do we tell our kids? Jennifer asked. They've been so excited. We bought them a dog for Christmas. Now we have to tell them he's gone? I felt horrible. These people had done nothing wrong. They were victims of Maya's vindictive crime. I'm so sorry. I know this isn't fair to you, to your kids, but Cooper is my family. I can't let him go. Tom nodded. We understand. We're angry at the woman who sold him to us, not at you. Our kids will be heartbroken, but they'll recover. This is your dog. They gave me Cooper's new bed, bowls, and toys they'd bought, wouldn't let me pay for them. Just take care of him and make sure that woman faces consequences for what she did to all of us. I took Cooper home. He wouldn't leave my side, followed me everywhere, slept pressed against me that night like he was afraid I'd disappear again. Meanwhile, the police investigation moved forward. Detective Sarah Kim was assigned to my case. She contacted Maya to question her about the sale. Maya's story changed when she realized police were involved. Suddenly, she hadn't sold Cooper, she'd rehomed him because I was neglecting him. She'd been worried about his welfare. Complete lies. I had vet records showing Cooper's regular checkups, up-to-date vaccinations, preventative care. He was healthy and well cared for. Detective Kim wasn't buying Maya's new story. Miss Blake, you told Mr. Foster on the phone that you sold the dog to get back at him for breaking up with you. You took $3,000. You didn't rehome a neglected dog. You stole and sold someone else's property. I helped take care of him. I have a right. You have no legal right to the dog. All ownership documents are in Mr. Foster's name. You took and sold property that didn't belong to you. That's theft. It's just a dog. It's a 4-year-old golden retriever worth approximately $3,000 based on what you sold him for. That's felony theft. Anything over $950 is a felony in this state. Maya hired a lawyer. Her lawyer tried to argue this was a civil dispute between ex-partners, that Cooper was community property from their relationship. The prosecutor shut that down. They weren't married. They didn't have a domestic partnership. The dog is solely owned by Mr. Foster with documented proof. Miss Blake took and sold property that legally belonged to another person. This is theft. We're charging accordingly. Maya was arrested 3 weeks after she sold Cooper, charged with felony theft and fraud. She'd misrepresented herself as Cooper's owner when selling him. She made bail, then violated the no-contact order by texting me, "You really got me arrested over a dog? You're insane. I hope you're happy ruining my life." I forwarded the texts to Detective Kim. Maya was charged with violating a protection order. Additional charge, additional consequences. The family in Redmond, Tom and Jennifer, decided to pursue their own case against Maya, sued her for fraud, emotional distress, and the cost of explaining to their traumatized children why their Christmas dog had been taken away. Maya was facing criminal charges and civil suits, multiple cases, all because she decided stealing and selling my dog was appropriate revenge. Her lawyer tried to negotiate a plea deal. She'd plead guilty to misdemeanor theft, pay restitution, and do community service. No jail time. The prosecutor asked my opinion. The family in Redmond is also pushing for felony charges. The crime was premeditated. She posted the ad 2 days before selling him. She admitted revenge motive. She's shown no remorse. I'm inclined to reject the plea and go to trial. I want her to face real consequences. She didn't just steal property. She tried to permanently separate me from my emotional support animal. She traumatized a family and their kids. She did all of it deliberately to hurt me. That deserves more than community service. Then we go to trial.
The trial was scheduled for 5 months out. In the meantime, Maya's life fell apart. She lost her job. Her employer found out about the theft charges and didn't want someone facing felony prosecution representing their company. Her apartment application was denied. Background check showed pending felony charges. Her parents found out what she'd done and were horrified, cut her off financially, told her they didn't raise her to steal pets out of spite. She ended up moving in with a friend, unemployed, facing criminal charges and civil suits, all because she'd sold my dog for revenge. Meanwhile, Cooper and I were rebuilding our life. He'd been traumatized by the experience, was anxious when I left for work, would panic if I was gone too long. We started seeing a veterinary behaviorist to help him recover. The behaviorist confirmed what I already knew. Cooper had bonded with me, been ripped away from his home, placed with strangers, then returned to me. It was deeply stressful for him. He'd need time and consistency to feel secure again. Maya had damaged him. Not just stolen him, but traumatized him, and she still didn't seem to understand that she'd done anything wrong.
Tom and Jennifer's lawsuits settled before the criminal trial. Maya agreed to pay them $8,000, the $3,000 purchase price, plus $5,000 in emotional distress damages. She had to take out a loan to pay it. They used some of the money to adopt a rescue dog, sent me photos of their kids with the new dog. Thanks for being understanding about this situation. We're so sorry you and Cooper went through this, but we're glad he's home with you. The criminal trial was straightforward. The prosecution presented documentation proving I owned Cooper, text messages where Maya admitted selling him for revenge. Tom and Jennifer testified about purchasing a stolen dog and the trauma it caused their family. Maya's defense was weak. Her lawyer tried to argue she genuinely believed she had ownership rights because she'd lived with Cooper and helped care for him. The prosecution destroyed that argument. Miss Blake had no legal ownership documents, never paid for adoption, never paid vet bills, never registered the dog, never got him microchipped, never got him licensed. She lived with Mr. Foster's dog but had no legal claim to him. She knew this. Her text messages prove she sold him specifically to hurt Mr. Foster. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was theft. The jury deliberated for 2 hours, came back with guilty verdicts on both charges: felony theft, fraud. Sentencing was 4 weeks later. I submitted a victim impact statement. Your Honor, Maya Blake didn't just steal my property, she tried to permanently destroy my relationship with my emotional support animal. Cooper has been my companion for 4 years. He helped me through my mother's death, through depression, through the hardest times of my life. Maya knew this. She knew how much Cooper meant to me, and she stole him anyway. Sold him to strangers, traumatized him, traumatized a family who innocently bought him, and she did all of it to hurt me because I ended our toxic relationship. Cooper is home now, but he's been damaged by this experience. He has separation anxiety. He panics when I leave. He'll need months of behavioral therapy to recover from being ripped away from his home. Maya has shown no remorse. She still claims she had a right to sell him. She still thinks this was justified revenge. She needs to understand that stealing living creatures has serious consequences. The judge reviewed the case: the premeditation, the revenge motive, the multiple victims, Maya's lack of remorse. Your Honor, you committed a calculated act of cruelty. You stole an emotional support animal from someone you'd been in a relationship with specifically to hurt them. You traumatized a family and their children. You damaged the dog himself through your actions, and you show no genuine remorse for any of it. The court sentences you to 2 years in county jail. You will also pay restitution of $3,000 to Mr. Foster for legal fees and veterinary costs. You are prohibited from owning or possessing any animals for 10 years after your release. 2 years. Maya would be 32 when she got out, with a felony record, banned from owning pets for a decade. Her life effectively ruined because she decided stealing my dog was appropriate revenge. Her appeals were denied. She started serving her sentence 6 weeks later. The first few months after her incarceration were hard. Maya's friends, the ones who believed her version where I was the villain, harassed me online, called me heartless for sending someone to jail over a dog, said I'd overreacted, said I was vindictive. But they didn't know the full story, didn't know about the revenge motive, the premeditation, the trauma to Cooper and to the family, the complete lack of remorse. The harassment died down after a few months. Most people moved on, forgot about the case. But I'll never forget. Won't forget coming home to an empty apartment. Won't forget the panic of losing Cooper. Won't forget fighting to get him back. 3 years have passed since Maya sold Cooper. She's still in jail, serves another 6 months before release. I've moved on with my life. Cooper's recovered from his trauma. We're both doing well. I started dating someone new, someone who loves Cooper as much as I do, someone who respects boundaries and wouldn't dream of using pets as weapons. Cooper's gotten me through this too. Through the stress of the trial, through the harassment, through learning to trust again after Maya's betrayal. People still ask if 2 years was too harsh, if I should have accepted the plea deal that would have given Maya probation instead of jail time. No, she committed a felony, stole living property, traumatized multiple victims, including children, showed zero remorse, deserved every consequence. Would I have preferred she'd never stolen Cooper in the first place? Obviously. Would I have preferred she'd learned boundaries and respect without needing to go to prison? Sure. But she made her choices, decided revenge was worth committing felonies, decided hurting me was more important than her own freedom. Now she's in jail. I have Cooper back, and she'll think twice before stealing someone else's pet to hurt them. Tom and Jennifer's kids eventually got over losing Max. The new rescue dog they adopted, a black lab mix named Luna, is thriving with them. They send me updates occasionally. We bonded over being victims of Maya's crime. Cooper doesn't remember his 3 days with that family, doesn't remember being confused and scared in a strange house. He just remembers coming home, remembers being reunited with me. That's what matters, not that Maya's prison sentence or the legal battles or the harassment, just that Cooper is home, safe, loved, where he always belonged. Maya's out in 6 months, has to register her address with me due to the restraining order, has to stay away from me and Cooper, has to live with a felony record and the knowledge that her revenge scheme cost her 2 years of freedom. I hope she learned something. Hope prison taught her that actions have consequences. Hope she never targets another pet out of spite. But even if she didn't learn, at least she can't hurt Cooper again, can't steal him, can't use him as a weapon. That's justice enough. What would you have done in this situation? Let me know in the comments. Like if you enjoyed the story, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to ScrollTales for more daily drama.